an easy way to get started in real estate investing in 2021. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. So if you're anything like how I used to be in the beginning, man, just curious about real estate. I mean, we all know it's hot, it's where it's supposed to be. We know so much millionaires come from it. It's just like a no-brainer, right? And you just don't know where to go. You just don't know how to do it. Money, finances, that's always one of the biggest hurdles, biggest walls for us to kind of get over. Thinking that we need a lot of money to kick off real estate investing. At least that's how I thought it was. But little did I know that that's not the case. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe like 20, 50 years ago. But in this day and age, you don't need that much money to get you started. And that's what we'll be going over right now. But before we do that, kings and queens, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that bell notification just to stay updated on future videos. We drop them every week. All that good stuff brings awareness to the channel. And if you're already part of the Kingdom family, thanks for the love and support. Appreciate everything. If you got any comments, ideas, questions, topics, comment section, leave it there. We'll definitely get back to it. Answer every single one of y'all. So, all right. So, like I said, before, man, I did not know where to go, where to turn to. I was YouTube School of Knowledge, Googling stuff, and all that good stuff. But it was always the money part that held me back a lot, right? Even though I had good income, I always felt like to be a real estate investor, you needed to have real estate investing funds. You know what I mean? Like you need a lot to get started because that's just the territory, right? In this day and age, you can get started with as little as zero. That's right, $0. I mean, maybe 20, 50 years ago that was impossible, but now you can. Now I'm going to show you a few ways how you can get started in real estate investing, which might not have, you probably have heard of it, you probably seen it around or whatever, but maybe you just forgot about it, right? There's so much different things you can do, right? There's so much different ways you can come up to purchase property. So I'll just give you a few that's a definite guarantee that the average everyday earner, 9-to-5er can do right now and just get a property under your belt. You know what I mean? So let's say your rent is around $700, $800 a month, right? And you're looking at properties, maybe they're like $100,000 or $150,000. Of course, numbers would vary and depending on which state you at, right? But just to keep things simple, we'll just stick with nice, decent round numbers that we all can work with, and you just scale it up, right? Or drop it, depends on where you're at, right? The property is $100,000. Let's say $150,000. Now that mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance probably is around $1,000. Let's just say that, right? It's probably around $1,000, like a 3.5% interest rate, right? You probably get a little bit lower. So if you went and bought a house, you're paying $700, $800 in rent. Now you're gonna go get a mortgage on a home that's $1,000, $200 more than what you're paying now, and the whole idea behind it is, well, now I'm just paying myself, right? Basically, I'm paying into the property, and at least it's my asset. Not an asset. It's a liability. An asset is something that brings money in. It brings money in, right? So a liability takes it, asset brings it. So that's the first mistake as an investor. Let's say that you're a civilian. You got your FHA loan, right? Use that to your advantage. Now let's say your credit is a little bit on the weak side and maybe that was what's holding you back, right? Plus the finance part, right? So let's say you were sitting at like a 590, a 600, a 620, and you're probably thinking, oh man, I know my credit ain't that good. I don't even want to look at it. But let's say you're sitting around there. Well, with a 600, you could get your FHA loan with 3.5% down. To qualify for that, you just need a 580. A 580 will get you 3.5% for a down payment. Hey, well now you're looking at it as that's a little doable. So let's look at the numbers, right? $100,000, 3.5% down, $3,500 down payment. Now those stimulus checks looking a little bit handy, right? If you had about 2 of those, man, that's probably your down payment right there. Now here's the investing part. With your FHA loan, you could buy 2 to 4 units, right? Now let me say that again. You can buy 2 to 4 units, and that's a residential. Residential goes up from a home up to 4 units. And what that basically means that you could buy a home, which is a liability, or you could start buying assets, things that bring money in, a duplex, a triplex, and a quad, right? 4 units. Two units is your duplex, triplex is your 3 units, and your quad is your 4 units, right? Now it's looking a little bit more powerful. Like, hey, I mean, you got 600 credit score, you got a couple $1,000s in the bank, plus the stimulus checks and stuff, your tax returns coming around, right? You find a quad that's about 200,000, maybe 150, 200,000, and yes, they are out there. You just gotta be willing to go find them. Now let's say it was a duplex, right, that you was purchasing for $100,000. Now 3.5% down, figured it out, $3,500. But now you're living in one side and renting out the other side, right? Because obviously it has to be a primary residence, right? Now let's say, and obviously we know that the mortgage, the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is probably around $1,000, right? But let's say rents for that place is $1,000, right? Let's say it's a spacious duplex. Well, now you're renting out one side for $1,000, your mortgage is $1,000, and you're living rent free. I mean, that's it. That's a video. Like, I'm done. Nah, but for real, with your FHA loan, it's so powerful. 2 to 4 units. Just start looking for deals, right? Start calling up banks. Start seeing where you at. Check your credit. You know, don't spend your checks on liabilities and stuff that doesn't bring anything in. Set it aside, right? Our fourplex was going for 200,000, 3.5% down. 3.5% down. It's about 7 G's, maybe a little bit more with, you know, little inspections, appraisals, and all that good stuff. But around there, you'd be all right. Just imagine how powerful it is for this year, after all that crap you've been through last year, right, which is still going on this year, to say that, hey, you know what, you start house hunting, taxes, checks, stimulus, you've been putting some money aside, right, and now you can start your real estate investing career and start picking up properties, right? Now, I say properties more than one. I just showed you how to get one, right? Let's say it was bare minimum, you got a duplex. Well, hey, listen, you're living rent free now, right? Because you was paying $700, $800. Now your tenant is paying your mortgage for you, and you living rent free. So that $700, $800 that you was paying your mortgage, now you pocketing that. That's an extra $8,400 a year. That could be your next down payment in 2022. I mean, you already did it once, you can do it again. You already know how to buy 2 units. So if you wanted to, bare minimum, just keep buying 2 units. Stick with what you know, right? And in 5 years, you have 10 units under your belt. So I know what you're gonna say. Well, can you use your FHA loan again, right? Because obviously you used it the first time for your primary residence. Now here comes 2022. You saved up about another 10,000, right? Because you've been good, you've been smart with your money. That rent that you was paying, you're pushing it aside for the next property, right? Do a little sacrifice. Now here comes 2022, and you're wondering, hey, can I use this FHA loan again? Yes, you can use your FHA loan again, but there are a few restrictions to it, right? You gotta meet some requirements. So just check out the guidelines, check out the restrictions to it. Like I said, you can use it, but you know they're not gonna make it easy, right? But don't let that stop you. You don't have to use your FHA loan just to buy another property. Yes, it's a good way to get into real estate investing, but it's not the only tool to use for real estate investing. You can do lease options, seller financing. If you're going conventional, that's 20% down. You already been stacking about 8-10 G's, right? You've been saving your rent that you was paying. Now you could just take the rest of the money out from your credit cards, a personal loan. I mean, different ways you can go about it, right? Hard money lenders, private lenders. I mean, there's so much more ways to get the rest of the down payment to purchase that second property next year. And yes, you did hear me say credit cards to purchase real estate. Now we use our credit cards to purchase all kind of liabilities, why not use it to purchase an asset, right? To continue your real estate investing career. And when you purchase your second property, you're going to be a smart investor, and you're going to take your profits and pay back that credit card, right? So if you've been gaining any value from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, bell notification. You know, it really helps the channel grow, supports us, let me know that you guys are enjoying what I'm putting out. And this video was for like the average everyday person, the 9-to-5er that always wanted to get into real estate investing, but just had it in them that like, yo, man, finance is tight, man, money's tight. Like, man, I can't come up with $20,000 to put down on a house. Sometimes that's just not the case. Hope you guys really got some value. I really hope in 2021 you take some action, you use the tools that you have around you, start doing some research. If you don't know anything about properties, if you don't know anything about crunching numbers and what's a good deal and what's a bad deal, how to figure out if the place is going to be profitable, is it going to be an asset? Because you could buy a performing asset and it just takes money out of you because you ran your numbers wrong, right? So like I said, if you don't know how to do that, you can hit me up. I'll go over it with you. I'll show you what I do for my properties. And yeah, you know, I just want you guys to be successful, you know? Go after your dreams. Go after financial independence because it is yours. Use what you got. Use what's around you. Well, kings and queens, as always, stay healthy, stay financially sound, stay blessed. And also, you might like this video or this video. Peace. Tomorrow's king.